love our new jingle. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. We want to welcome everyone to the Morning Cup. That is one of our favorite tunes from Canva. It's called Goals. We want to welcome you all to the Morning Cup. Here's a toast to the morning.
Good morning, honey.
Good morning. I have my again, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I got it at the Dollar Tree and I checked it.
Wow.
And it's like $5 on Amazon. So hello.
Yay.
Today, we're going to talk, we have 3 topics today. We're going to talk about 3 tips to support your fellow women-owned businesses during this pandemic. We're going to talk 3 tips. We have several more, but we have 3 tips that we're going to talk about to pandemic-proof your career during the SHEcession. And then we're going to congratulate this woman who's been blowing up inside of the Second Act Women Facebook community, Alicia Cook, and we can't wait to talk about it. So let's get started with the Morning Cup. Cheers. I love your unicorn cup.
Oh, girl, you know what? It's because I'm feeling a little magical this morning. So I'm just glad to be back. You know, and actually, I want to just do a quick shout out to all of the amazing women in our community who stepped in. And I was not here last week for some personal reasons, but you guys showed me some crazy old love and support. And I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I really appreciate you guys leaning in and stepping in with me.
You are just such a badass, and that was such a beautiful thing. And y'all don't know, I've known this woman since 2010, and that was a big deal. The growth that this woman is going through, it was a big deal to share that. And, you know, I love you, and so does the community and people around you. And I'm glad that things are working out. And I'm thrilled for you. The show, however, was a mess.
Was it?
Oh my Lord, y'all. I was at my mom's house. You know, she's got her shots. And so I was down there and her internet, there is her internet in that area. The whole day was trippy. I mean, from the branding workshop, it was just a mess. You know,
it was divine intervention saying, Barbara, you need a day off, Barb, is what that was.
I'm telling you. But you were missed in more ways than one, my dear. And so welcome back. And let's jump right into, if you're an entrepreneur, how it is we fellow entrepreneurs and career women and women just living their life can support one another. We have 3 tips. And so I'm going to let you lead with one of the tips. And I'm going to,
Tip number 1, for many of you that don't know, we also have a business directory in our community. And it highlights different women in our Insiders membership club, everything from, you know, products and services to actual support systems that these women have created. And what we are inviting you to do today is to head on over to secondactwomen.com business directory and check out these women. I mean, you don't know if you're going to be able maybe to hire them, to perhaps maybe work with them, collaborate on projects, whatever it might be. If you've got an opportunity, we're saying, please go on over to our business directory and consider hiring and supporting our women first before you go outside the community.
Yep. Hey, good morning, Dina Jones and those Facebook users. And we're now live on YouTube today and LinkedIn. So good morning. Yes. Yeah, I love that tip. What's the other one? And I'll talk about it. You want to pop that one up? We share duties with in behind the scenes. Okay, so the other tip to help your fellow women-owned businesses, preferably 40 and 50 plus, because we're the ones that are really hit hard is, and I'm trying to show off my blue eyes. So that's why I'm going on.
Is that you're getting really close to the screen?
Right, that's exactly it.
Looking saucy, she says.
Is post jobs within our Facebook community and tag them with job opportunity. I think that's a great idea. Use the hashtag job op. Or job opportunity, either one, post those. And what we'll do is when we catch them is we can even go in and edit the topic so that I'll show you. I'll do a whole show on how to track different topics that are happening within the community. However, I think this is a great opportunity. I noticed there were a few Heidi Hallis with New York Life posted one, and there was another one I just saw this morning. But I think that's a really wonderful tip, that if you are looking to hire someone as a, to help you with admin, you've got Bonnie Schultz out there that can provide you with the talent. We've used her services. And there are ways in which you can support each other simply by chat posts. And if you see one on LinkedIn or somewhere, just post it and tag someone you think is great for the position.
Yeah. And if you are, part of an HR company, or, the HR director at your business and they have a major initiative to hire more women, connect them. You can send an email over to hello@secondactwomen.com. And we'd love to find ways to even add more visibility to companies that are committed to hiring women over 40 and 50.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So on to our third tip. Ladies, we are just ecstatic to announce that our Facebook group continues to just blow up, and it's all props to you ladies who continue to invite amazing women to join our community. And so we want to challenge you. A great way is you already have access by being part of our Facebook group. You have access to almost 3,600 women in our community, and they're all primarily business women who've been there, done that, held different types of positions. So why not tap into that network? Set up one-on-ones. Maybe it's a virtual coffee, maybe it's a distanced walk if you happen to be in the same area. But at the end of the day, you never know who knows who and who could open up a door or an opportunity for you. So we encourage you, if you haven't done that yet, find someone, reach out, and set up a one-on-one.
Absolutely. I love that. And so those are just a few tips. If you have tips on how you can connect with one another or share each other's businesses, whatever it may be, post it, share it, whatever you can do to help us, because that leads into the next topic. And that is the SHEcession that's happening. And we would love for you to post, have you been affected by the pandemic? How have you been affected by the pandemic? And within the community of Facebook at Suck and Act Women, maybe perhaps there are people out there that can help you. So please, let's do this. And so let's talk about 3. We have 5. Before we start, let's talk about what happened to us last night.
Oh.
Lupe and I like to consider ourselves to be on our game, but there are times. And last night was one of them. I was laying in bed. Yes, we're on Clubhouse with a person. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I now got my tiny little phone to be on Clubhouse compared to my Droid, which I really love. Anywho, I'm like just, watching the Real Wives of Salt Lake City reunion 3. And Lupe's doing her thing. I can tell she was on the couch by the time I called her.
I was.
Right? I get a late night phone call about 7. Oh my Lord, I can't believe I just said late night and it was only 7:30.
Well, that's because you're up at the crack of dawn. Let's put it into perspective.
So are you. So I'm like, who is this calling? And so I answer it. Ladies, we were supposed to be delivering a 5-tip, full-on 45-minute working session to business professional women of Colorado last night. When did we thought it was?
Today.
So
we're on our calendar and everything for today. So we were working on the PowerPoint, on the Canva presentation to get it all done. And then she calls me and I'm sitting there going, I'm like, is everything okay? She's like, girl, we're supposed to be on this presentation. Like, can you call her and figure it? I'm like, oh, snap. And so
we're leading. Yeah, and we lead. So she and I, the way Lupe and I work when you're a partnership is you got to figure out how to work with each other, right? And so what we've decided over the last year or so is I'll lead this one. Whoever starts the conversation with someone, sorry, that's my dog in the background, leads that, that event or whatever it may be. Right. And so it was easy for me to pass it on to Lupe to make that call. But sure enough, we had to deliver in our PJs. Ball cap, and we did it.
But you know what? It ended up being great. It ended up being more of just an intimate conversation with these women, and we got to know them a little bit better. And so we were able to still go through our presentation and share some really cool tidbits that they all felt leaving the presentation they had learned something new.
Absolutely. So we want to give a shout out to Business Professional Women of America, really. And if you, no matter where you are in the United States, it's a really wonderful organization. And we want to give a shout out to Heidi, who's already a part of the Second Act Women, and then Chanel, who just joined us this morning. So that leads us into the topic that we were to discuss with them tonight, but it was really last night. And it is about 3 tips. We're going to give you 3 tips.
Yep.
Of how to pandemic proof your career during this economic times.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and the reality is that obviously there's a lot of people being affected, right? But for many reasons, women particularly are just bearing the brunt of this, sadly, of this pandemic. And yes, we're in a new year. Can't believe that like next week is March already, when it all happened, or when it all kind of publicly exploded, shall I say. So the effects are still real, and a lot of women are still kind of going through that. And so we wanted just to share a couple of tips that we found that could support you through your journey. And so the first one is 360-degree upskilling. So oftentimes we find ourselves focusing on skills that we may not have in our current arsenal. And while that's still a great thing, but as the future kind of rolls out, and as the pandemic affected a lot of jobs and companies, a lot of automation started to kick in. And so the future pans out that, you know, more of the blue collar type of jobs are going to be eventually replaced through automation. But there are certain things that we as humans bring to the table, like thought, analytical skills, interpersonal skills, even digital skills, that we wanted to let you know that you need to start working on today in order to pandemic proof your career. So digital skills, such as, for example, digital marketing, social media, learning how to kind of maneuver and manage content creation online is one of the key areas that they were suggesting. Business skills, so such as problem solving, ideation and innovation, interpersonal skills, how to communicate effectively in a virtual work environment. So these are all things that maybe if you need to sit and improve upon, take some classes, work to create a better feel for your level of knowledge in those areas, do it now as we start to kind of move into this. And don't just focus on one, but take a whole 360-degree view to upskilling your career.
You know, and we're going to be leading a session on technology, and it's really to to continue to put tools in your biz box, as we like to say. And so we're going to be leading a session on what are some of the top platforms that you as entrepreneurs, but really it's for anybody. You need to know the CRM systems. You need to know how to operate HubSpot. You need to know Google Analytics, how to analyze even just the simplest of analytics within your social media, how to use that information also to grow your company or work within your company if you're a career woman, your marketing teams. You know, how do you analyze that information, and what platforms more specifically are popular and that can help build your business, grow your customer base, your clients, whatever it may be. We're going to be leading a session on March 10th. I need to look. Don't quote me on that one, but it is in 2 weeks. And so Lupe and I are going to be
March 11th.
March 11th. There you go, at 10 a.m. And so that's a Thursday, right after the morning cut. So mark your calendars for that, because I really think that this is going to be a great session for the 360-degree upskilling for career and entrepreneurship to grow that biz box.
Exactly. All right. Tip number 2, I'll let you take.
Adapt a growth mindset. Y'all, here's what happens. We get to a certain place where we feel really comfortable where we are on the job. Right. And we think that our skills and the experiences that we've acquired over the course of time are going to speak for themselves. They're not. They're not going to speak for themselves unless you speak for yourself about what you're doing and continue to grow, as in tip number 1. And so what we have to remember is to get out of that fixed mindset where, again, I'm doing just what I need to be doing. Yes, my boss tells me to do this, do it to its to perfection, and then move on to the next task. Instead of reaching out and discovering perhaps other things that you can be doing to grow who you are within your company, because we're not done growing. I think you guys can attest that we're in a growth spurt right now at 54, at 47, at 61. We are still growing and enthusiastically still growing. So do that when you're on the job. Learn something new to add to your arsenal of your own box, your career box, so that the next time you go to meet with your supervisor, or if you are the supervisor and you go to meet with your GM or your CEO, whoever it may be, or maybe you are the CEO.
Hey.
You have written down all the things that you have done so that proving that you are continuing your growth, because they think us Gen Xers and boomers are not growing. They think that we're not into, and you can describe who you think they is. I'm just going to call it they, and it's not the case. I mean, blow us up and let us know, what you're learning and how important this is.
And, it's all about like what you're saying. If you find yourself in, especially in intergenerational kind of work environments, you bring unique perspectives because of where you've been and what you've accomplished in your own company, that maybe our younger counterparts may not be privy to, because it's like on the job learning. So if you keep it to yourself, then what value are you bringing to the company? And so it's really an opportunity for you to step in and share all the resources, all the talents and insights that you've acquired through your lifetime on the job.
Can I say one more thing to that?
No.
Why would they keep you? If you are not growing, and if you are not doing what she just said, and there is a SHEcession going on right now, and they're finding all sorts of ways to get rid of us, women and men over 40 and 50, because we cost too much, or we're not growing, or we don't know technology and all those things that, frankly, Gen X created technology. Hello. Why would they keep you? So you have to remember that they are looking for ways so that you can't come back and claim ageism,
right?
Which it may just be. So boost up.
Very true. Very true. All right. And our last tip is create visible value. And this really kind of plays on the heels of adopt a growth mindset. So we oftentimes will just get focused on what we do. We get that kind of tunnel vision about, I'm just here, I don't want to rock the boat, especially in these times right now. I don't want to stand out. Actually, during these times is when you want to stand out. People remember those people that stepped in, helped a company through a crisis, brought valuable ideas to the table, took on projects that maybe were outside their current scope, but said, you know what, I noticed that this team is running lean, I can lean in, I can help. So take those visible projects that will not only help you in your current kind of position, but will also chart opportunities for you to grow into new opportunities, and then maybe even work with more people. So expanding your reach so that next time they're evaluating, who am I going to let go? You have more than just your immediate team or your immediate manager saying, so-and-so does a great job. You now have additional managers that maybe you've been exposed to through your volunteer efforts that can say, oh no, she does a great job. We want to keep her.
Yep.
So be sure to kind of just go out there and go outside of your comfort zone and really lean into what can I do to add more value than what I'm already bringing to the table, and how can I make it visible? If it's not visible, don't take on the project. If it's just minute, always think big. How can I get interactions with bigger level, executives, or work with different teams, or even different divisions in other places, and add that to your resume.
Absolutely. So we want to congratulate. So what we're going to start doing on the Morning Cup is talk about whatever's blowing up within inside of the Second Act Women community. And there's a lot blowing up, from fitness equipment, which we're going to talk about next week, to jobs, to mental health and all of that. Well, one in which we are going to just give a shout out. And that is to a good friend of mine who I've known for a long time, Alicia Cook.
Yay!
Yes. Oh my gosh. You guys, let me read to you her, what's going on with Alicia Cook. We want to congratulate this woman who at 53 has been looking for the right position to take on after being with a wonderful community and organization here in Colorado called Friends First. It's a mentorship program that is based here in Colorado, and then she was able to expand it after being the executive director there and CEO. Well, she has now been appointed as the first African-American and woman in a 103-year history in Colorado, and I'm sorry, third female, but the first African-American in a 103-year history in Colorado for boys and boy. I'm just big brother and big sisters. Yes, Michelle, big brothers, big sisters, right here in Colorado. And ladies, this is a testament that age. You can do if you go for it with vigor. And it's not going to be easy. And it hasn't been easy with Alicia getting to that next stage. She's been, trying to figure out what is her next. This is a woman who is raising two amazing daughters, of which one is studying law at Emory in Atlanta, and the other one's still in high school, but is also just as smart as her big sister. And she is doing it. And she was so afraid of ageism and imposter syndrome that she had. And this is a strong woman out of Detroit who was raised in a broken home, who ended up going to college after her mentor, which is why she's in mentorship today. Her mentor saw something in her at a very young age and said, you can, you will. And as Oprah would say, I will watch you. And Alicia went on to graduate from college. Not only that, but she's bilingual in Japanese. Of all the hard, that's hard in itself. So this woman walked into an interview in her stilettos at 53 and landed the job of a lifetime for her. So we want to give prayers and blessings and congratulations to Alicia Cook for bucking the system and landing and going after a lot of hard work, going after what she wholeheartedly deserved. It is possible, ladies. It's just work. And so we wanted to give a shout out to her. I also want to give a shout out to women who DM'd me before we talk about Clubhouse real briefly. Jonna and Wendy had sent me a message earlier this week and said that they went on a hike and they had this idea and so on and so forth. And are we going to be creating Second Act Social? And, it's funny. What did we have as part of our plans when we first launched this company, and how many logos we had for all these different.
Oh, girl. Yes.
It's up to you. I'm like, oh my God, we did have this on the plate.
Yeah, no. And what's wonderful about it is I love that these women ended up just meeting on Second Act Facebook community. They didn't know each other prior to this and said, you know what, we're going to just go out and hang out together. And so they took to the trails. Yeah. And just hung out for a fun day together. And I love that. I love the fact that women are connecting in ways that they would not have before. And so it was on our hit list when we first kind of came out to kind of create these little social communities based on interests and create opportunities for you to meet new women. So we're gonna have to revisit that. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm very excited. We had it called. I
don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, I'll have to go back. Brielle Killip, who designed our logo, designed these 4 different logos for us. And as business owners do, you start learning more about your customers and your demo and your market. And even though we are the market, we're so different. And so we went, and focused in on the membership and events, and then the pandemic hit. So we were an IRL community.
Yeah, I think was it the Social Society?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Something like that, right? Well, anywho, stand by. We will be creating this because I love the idea of women connecting. And now that we can get out and still socially distance responsibly, if we can create opportunities for you ladies to do that and even strengthen your bonds even more, we're all game for that, because that's ultimately what we want to do, is not only just work together, but we want to play together too.
Absolutely. So to conclude our fun morning of the morning cup with sippy sips going on and stories of you and how to boost you. We want to announce, as we said earlier, we finally got on to Clubhouse. So Lupe was already an iOS or iPhone user. I am not, because as I said, I'm a Droid girl. Because to me, I don't know, I'm just a Droid girl. Ooh, that was dirty. And so we're on Clubhouse. And so please look us up. I'm getting in right now. If you are not on Clubhouse, and you, I highly recommend you do if you are if you're an entrepreneur, for sure. There are so many different groups. Actually, there's one happening right now that's live. That where you go in and you get to actually be a part of an audience. It's merely a audio social media, and already Twitter and YouTube and Facebook are trying to get their hands on trying to do something similar. But what I love about it is again, you could be a part of a conversation that you have no clue is actually got Oprah Winfrey in the audience and just brought to the stage, and you get to interact with that person. They have the Rachel Hollises, the Brene Browns. I mean, it is a beautiful community. And what I love is you can lay in bed, wake up to it, listen to a topic of the day within whatever category you're looking for. And boom, you're taking part in a live session. I've got to turn it off right now because
you can host a room once you're in there too to have discussions. And so I think that's going to be kind of like on our agenda as we continue to dive in and learn a little bit more about Clubhouse and how to maximize it. But many of you have said, hey, how can we have some of these breakout conversations and bring more women together to chime in and just have candid conversations about what it is to be 50 plus. So stay tuned for more on that.
Just followed me.
Oh, there you go.
And Barbara McFerrin. Oh my God, her photography is amazing. And Bonnie. So follow us. We did apply for those of you that are already in to Clubhouse and you get it because we're still learning it. We did apply last night to get our own club going for Second Act Women, and it could be next week or a month, who knows, when we are approved. But with the minute we do that, you can bet that we are going to be all over that medium and hosting in the morning cup within that medium as well. So, and eventually we'll get somebody to do a class on it so that you all can stay in the know on new tech. All right. So that is the morning cup. We want to leave you today with a, oh, great. Someone says they have some invites. That's the thing, is you have to be invited to it.
It's so exclusive.
It's so exclusive. Not even Droid users are, wow. You Apple people. So we do want to say thank you. And Lupe, what do you want to say before we end the show with our quote for the day?
No, you know what, ladies? We hope you end February strong. We are going to be posting the good news tomorrow on Facebook. And I would love, maybe we could do a highlight of the month of what you are celebrating, because ladies, we need to remember to make sure that we celebrate the little things and the big things, because they all come together to make you freaking awesome. So look for that post tomorrow around 3 o'clock. And if I'm going to invite you to lean in and post about something cool that happened to you or you made happen.
Love it. And we'll see you new members of the Insider Club at 2 p.m. today, Mountain Standard Time. We want you to have a blessed day today on behalf of myself, Barbara Brooks, 54.
And have a good one, ladies. We'll see you.
Bye, ladies. Here's your quote for the day.